All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and jump right into where we left off in the Children of Blood and Bone. As the Mamalawa in the mural chants, her words dance across the wall in painted symbols. The ivory dagger drips with her blood. The glow of the sunstone encompasses the entire mural in its light. Then that's what happened. Zane stares at the mural with dead eyes, rigid in his stance. She didn't perform the ritual? That's why Magic died? Though he says magic, I hear Mama in his voice. This is what left her defenseless. This is how the king took away her magic. The spark vanishes from Leakin's eyes and the paintings lose their animated life. In an instant, the magic of the mural dies, no more than ordinary dry paint. The massacre of the Magi, the raid, as your people call it, was not a chance event. Before I went away on my pilgrimage, your king entered Shindomble's temples, claiming false worship. In truth, Saran was searching for a weapon against the gods. Leakin turned so we can't see his face, only the symbols inked onto his arms. They seem to shrink as he slumps in the candlelight, withering with his heartache. He learned of the ritual, of how magic in Orisha was centered to the Centauros' blood. By the time I returned, Saran had slaughtered my people, severing Sky Mother's connection and ripping magic from our world. Amari clasps her hand to her mouth, silent tears streaking her rosy cheeks. I can't fathom how one man would be so cruel. I don't know what I'd do if that man was my father. Leakin turns back to us, and in that moment I realize I'll never understand his loneliness, his pain. After the raid, I still had Zane and Baba. All he had were skeletons, corpses, and silent gods. Saran coordinated his massacres, one right after the other. As my people bled on this floor and magic disappeared, he instructed his guards to kill yours. I closed my eyes, willing away the images of fire and blood the raid calls forth. Baba cries as a guard broke his arm, Mama clawing at the black magicite chain around her neck. My screams as they dragged her away. Why didn't they do something? Zane shouts. Why didn't they stop him? I put a hand on his shoulder, squeezing to ease his rage. I know my brother. I know his yells mask his pain. My people are tasked with protecting human life. We are not allowed to take it away. Damn, that's actually kind of crazy. Could you imagine being so powerless in that moment? Like I imagine that's how the airbenders felt, right? Being known pacifists. Could you imagine like having someone come assault you and you feel almost defenseless? Now the airbenders did obviously have defenses. They were also benders. The firebenders were clearly significantly more powerful as the airbenders did fight back anyway. But I would liken it to that. You know, these are people who choose non-violence, and you ran up on us choosing violence. Almost like black people. Anyway, we're not tasked with protecting human life. We just want to take it, by the way. We stand for a long moment with only Amari's sniffles to break the silence. Staring at the painted walls, I begin to realize how far others will go to keep us down. That's a bar. But magic's back now, right? Amari asks, wiping her eyes. Zane hands her a ripped swatch of his cloak, but his kindness only seems to cause more tears. The scroll worked for Zele and Mama Agba, Amari continues. It transformed my friend, too. If we can bring the scroll to all the diviners in Orisha, won't that be enough? Saran broke the old connection between the Magi and the gods above when he slaughtered the Centauros. The scroll brings back magic because it has the ability to spark a new connection with the gods. But to make that connection permanent and bring back magic for good, we need to perform this sacred ritual. Leakin pulls out the scroll with reverence. I spent years searching for the three holy artifacts, almost all of it in vain. I managed to recover the bone dagger, but at times I worried Saran had managed to destroy the others. I don't think they can be destroyed, Amari says. My father ordered his admiral to get rid of the scroll and the sunstone, but he failed. Your father's admiral failed because the artifacts cannot be destroyed by human hands. They were given life through magic. Only magic can bring about their death. So we can do it, I press. we can still bring magic back. For the first time, Leekin smiles, hope shining behind his golden eyes. The centennial solstice is upon us, the 10th century of Sky Mother's gifts to mankind. It gives us one last chance to right our wrongs, one last chance to keep magic alive. How? Zane asks. What do we have to do? Leekin unrolls the scroll, interpreting its symbols and pictures. On the centennial solstice, a sacred island appears off the northeastern coast of the Orinian Sea. It is home to the temple of our gods. We must take the scroll, the sunstone, and the bone dagger there, and recite the ancient incantation on this scroll. If we complete the ritual, we can create new blood anchors and restore the connection, securing magic for another 100 years. Interesting. And every diviner will become a Magi, Amari asks. If you can complete the ritual before the solstice, every diviner who has reached the age of 13 will transform. I like this idea of transformation because I don't think they're physically changing. It might be at least like not externally. So I don't know, something like changes in their blood. I know she mentioned the Ashe, if it changes shape in them depending on what their magic is. I don't know, but I like the idea of them transforming. The centennial solstice, I repeat in my head, calculating how much time we have left. Mama Agba's summer graduation always falls on the crescent moon, after the annual tigerfish harvest. If the solstice is upon us. Wait, Zane exclaims. That's less than one moon away. What? My heart seizes. What if we happen to what happens if we miss it? Miss it, and Orisha will never see magic again. My stomach drops like I've been pushed off the mountain. One moon? One moon or never again? But magic's already coming back, Zane shakes his head. It came with the scroll. If we can get it to all the diviners, that will not work, Leekin interrupts. The scroll does not connect you to Sky Mother. It only ignites your connection to your sister deity. Without the ritual, the magic will not last beyond the solstice. The stakes are getting higher, y'all. Zane pulls out his map and Leekin charts a course to where the sacred temple will appear. I pray the location is within reach, but Zane's eyes bulge in alarm. Wait, Amari says as she raises her hands. We have the scroll and the bone dagger, but where is the sunstone? Amari asking the good questions. She eyes his robes expectantly, but no glowing stone comes forth. I have been tracking the stone from Wari since it first washed ashore. I was following the lead on it in Ibiji, when my spirit called me back here. I have to assume it was so I can meet you. So you don't have it, I ask. Leekin shakes his head, and Zane nearly explodes. Then how are we supposed to do this? Travel alone will take a full moon. The answer becomes as stark as the paintings on the wall. The diviners will never become Magi. Saran will always be in control. Can't you help us? Amari asks. I can aid you, Leekin nods, but I have limits. Only a woman can become a Mamalawa. I cannot perform the ritual. That's Amari's role. So Amari has to be the one to become Mamalawa because it can't be Zele because she is a diviner, so she has to get her magic back. Excuse me. So I would assume Amari has to be Mamalawa. But you have to do it, Amari presses. You are the only Centauro left. It does not work like that, Leekin shakes his head. Centauros are not like Magi. Your connection to the gods is cemented in your blood. The connection to Sky Mother is what's needed to complete the ritual. Then who can do it? Leekin looks at me, heavy in his gaze. A Magi, one tethered to the gods. Hey, I've been wrong before. It takes a moment for Leekin's words to hit. When they do, I nearly laugh. If Sky Mother brought the scroll to you through a descendant of Saran's blood, her will is clear. Her will is wrong, I almost shot back. I can't save the Magi. I can barely save myself. Leekin, no. My gut clenches the way it did when Amari first grabbed me in the market. I'm not strong enough. I've never even performed an incantation. You said the scroll only connected me to Oya. I'm not connected to Sky Mother either. I can amend that. Then amend yourself. Amend Zane. I push my brother forward. Even Amari would be a better candidate than me. But Leakin grabs my hand and leads me forward, continuing through the dome. Before I can object, he cuts me off. The gods don't make mistakes. Beads of sweat gather on my forehead as we climb another set of stone steps. We pass stair after stair, ascending toward the top of the mountain. With each step in my mind, with each step, my mind twists and tumbles, reminding me of all the ways this could fail. Maybe if we already had the sunstone, if the royal guard wasn't breathing down our backs, if Legan would just get someone else to do the stupid ritual. My chest tightens, suffocating under the threat of failure. Baba's crooked smile returns to my mind, the hope in his eyes. As long as we don't have magic, they will never treat us with respect. We need this ritual. It's our only hope. Without it, we'll never get power. The monarchy will always treat us like maggots. We are here. At last, we reach the top of the stairs and emerge outside into the fading daylight. Leakin leads us to a glittering stone steeple that rises out of the mountaintop, far above the same temple we first entered. Though a few cracked tiles mark the entrance, the site is largely untouched. Towering pillars support the structure, bending into rows of elegant arches. Wow, I breathe out, running my fingers along the carved cymbaria marking each column. The symbols glow in the waning sunlight, seeping in the archways. Here, Leakin gestures to the only fixture in the steeple, an obsidian tub streaming with clear blue water. The liquid begins to bubble as he nears, though no flames dance in sight. What is this? Your awakening. When I am done, your spirit will be retethered to Sky Mother's. You can do that? Amari asks. Leakin nods, the ghost of a smile tickling his lips. It was my duty with my people. I trained for it all my life. He clasps his hands together, gaze soft and unfocused. Then suddenly he shifts, eyeing Zane and Amari. You must leave, he gestures to them. I've already broken centuries of tradition by letting you come this far. I cannot allow you to observe our most sacred ritual. Like hell you can't, Zane steps in front of me, muscles flexing in challenge. I'm not leaving you alone with my sister. You should stay, Amari whispers. I have no right to see this. No, Zane extends his hand in front of Amari, stopping her before she can scurry down the steps. Stay. No us, no ritual. Leakin purses his lips. If you stay, you are bound to secrecy. We vow, Zane waves his hand. We won't say anything. Do not take this vow lightly, Leakin warns. The dead won't. Leakin shifts his glare to Amari. She all but melts. He only relents to grasp the rim of the obsidian tub. The water instantly boils under his touch. My throat goes dry as I approach the tub and a new wave of steam hits my face. Oya, help me. I can't even sell a fish without causing the destruction of my entire village. How am I supposed to be the Maji's only hope? If I agree to this, you must awaken the others. Leakin stifles a frustrated breath. Sky Mother brought you here. Please, Leakin, you have to. I can't be the only one. Leakin clicks his tongue and ushers me toward the tub. Fine, he concedes, but I must awaken you first. I take a tentative step into the tub, sliding in slowly until water covers all but my head. My clothes float around me as the heat soothes my every limb, kissing the strain of today's climb away. Let us begin. Leakin takes my right hand and removes the bone dagger from the folds of his robe. To unlock divine power, we must sacrifice that which is most divine to us. You're using blood magic. Zane steps toward me, body stiff with fear. Yes, Leakin says, but your sister will be safe. I will keep it under control. My heartbeat quickens, remembering Mama's withered body after she used blood magic for the first time. The boundless power ripped her muscles apart. Even with the aid of healers, it took her a full moon to regain her ability to walk. Damn. It was a risk she took to save Zane when he nearly drowned as a child, a sacrifice that allowed him to cling to life. But in sacrificing herself, she nearly died. You'll be safe, Leekin assures me, seeming to read my thoughts. This isn't like when Magi used blood magic. Centauros have the ability to guide it. I nod, though a dull spike of fear still pricks at my throat. Forgive me, Leekin says. This may hurt. I inhale a sharp breath as he slashes through the palm of my hand, gritting my teeth against the sting as the blood begins to seep out. The pain turns into shock when my blood glows with a white light. When it drips into the water, I feel something leave me, something deeper than a simple cut. The red droplets turn the clear blue liquid white. It boils even harder as more blood falls. Now, relax. Leekin's booming voice drops to a soft timbre. My eyes flutter closed. Clear your head. Take deep breaths. Release yourself from your worldly tethers. I bite back a retort. There are too many tethers to count. The flames of Eloran lick my mind. The echoes of BC screams ring in my ears. The prince's hands wrap around my throat, squeezing tighter. But as my body soaks in the heated water, the strains start to fade. Baba's safety, Enon's fury. One by one, each burden sinks. They leave me in waves until even Mama's death seems to evaporate in the steam. Good, Leekin soothes. Your spirit is being cleansed. Remember, whatever you feel, I will be here. He places one hand on my forehead and another on my sternum before he chants, Oma Mama, Aribinrin Oya, Si Ibin Iibe Re, Tuidan Mimo Risile. Again, so sorry. I'm always going to say sorry when I know I butchered something. A strange power whirls around my skin. The water boils with a new intensity, and my breath hitches as its heat takes hold. Oma Mama, daughter of Sky Mother, I repeat in my head. Aribinre Oya, sister of Oya. Si Ibun Iibi Re, bear your precious gift. Tu Idan Mimo Risile, release your holy magic. The air above us tingles with electric energy, stronger than anything I felt before. It surpasses the buzz of Enon's imprinting, eclipses the surge of touching the parchment for the first time. The tips of my fingers grow warm, igniting with white light. As Leekin chants, the power travels through my veins, making them glow beneath my skin. Oma Mama, Arimbinre Oya. The louder his incantations ring, the more my body reacts. The magic overwhelms every cell in my being, pulsing as Leekin submerges my head beneath the water. My skull presses against the floor of the tub, and a new kind of air catches in my throat. I finally understand Mama Agba's words. It's like breathing for the first time. Oh, my mama. Veins bulge against my skin as the magic grows, a swell about to burst. Behind my eyes, sheets of red dance around me, crashing like waves, spinning like hurricanes. As I lose myself in their beautiful chaos, a glimpse of Oya emerges. Fire and wind dance around her like spirits, spinning like the red silks in her skirt. Oribinre Oya. Her dance transfixes me, igniting everything that I never realized was trapped inside of me. It scorches through my body like a flame, yet chills my skin like ice, flowing in uncharted waves. Si ibin iibe re, Leekin shouts above the water. Tu idan mimo risile. In one final surge, the tsunami breaks free and magic flows through every inch of my being. It inks itself into each cell, staining my blood, filling my mind. In its power, I glimpse the beginning and end at once, the unbreakable connections tethering all of our lives. The red of Oya's wrath whirls around me. The silver of Sky Mother's eyes shines. Zelly! I blink open my eyes to find Zane shaking me by the shoulders. You okay? He asks, leaning over the edge of the tub. I nod, but I can't bring myself to speak. There are no words, only the prickling sensation left behind. Can you stand? Amari asks. I try to push myself out the tub, but as soon as I do, the entire world spins. Be still, Leekin instructs. Your body needs rest. Blood magic drains your life force. Rest, I repeat. Rest with time we don't have. If Leakin's lead on the location of the Sunstone is right, we need to head to Ibiji to find it. I can't complete the ritual without the stone, and we're already running out of time. The solstice is only 3/4 moons away. You must spare one night, Leakin presses, somehow sensing my urgency. Awakening magic is like adding a new sense. Your body needs time to adjust to the strain. I nod and close my eyes, slumping against the cold stone. Tomorrow you'll start. Head to Ibiji, find the stone. Go to the sacred island, perform the ritual. I repeat the plan again and again, letting its repetition lull me to sleep. Ibiji, stone, island, ritual. With time, my mind fades into a soft blackness, seconds away from sleep. I'm almost out when Leakin seizes my shoulders and drags me to my feet. Someone is coming, Leakin shouts. Quick, we must go. Chapter 19, E9. Ooh, it's getting spicy, y'all. Like it's halfway across the world. Why can't they just tell us what she stole? If that bastard thinks I'm willing to down this cliff, Enon, slow down, Kaya calls from below. It takes a moment to realize she's not just another voice in my head. The closer I get to Shadomble, the louder they become. Curse the skies. The guards' complaints buzz like honeybees sparring inside my skull. Though I want to block them out, I can't afford to push my curse down. Even the slightest efforts cause my legs to slip from the cliff. The bite of magic twists everything inside me, a virus destroying me from the inside out. But I have no choice. I cannot climb and weaken myself. I have to let the darkness in. It stings worse than the burn that sears in my chest when I fight my powers down. Each time a foreign thought hits me, my skin crawls. Every flash of another's emotion makes my lips curl. Magic slithers inside of me, venomous, like 1,000 spiders crawling over my skin. It wants more of me. The curse wants to fight its way in. With a lurch, my foothold crumbles. Stones at my feet tumble like an avalanche. I grunt as my body is slammed flat against the wall, my feet flailing for a new hold. Enon! Kaya shouts from the ledge below, more of a distraction than an aid. She waits with the riders and other soldiers while I stake out a path. Rope and flint slip from the pockets of my belt as I swing. Amari's headdress slides as well. No! Though it's a risk, I release my left hand, catching the headdress before it evades my grasp. As my feet discover new footing, memories I can't fight swell to the surface. Strike, Amari! Father's command boomed against the stone walls of the palace cellar, deep underground where his commands were law. Amari's small hand shook, barely strong enough to lift the iron sword. It wasn't like the wooden swords he forced us to spar with, dull blades that bruised but never cut. The iron was sharp, jagged at its edge. With the right strike, we wouldn't just bruise. We'd bleed. I said strike. Father's yells were like thunder, a command no one could defy. Yet Amari shook her head. She let her sword fall. I flinched as it clattered against the ground, harsh and piercing, defiance ringing in every sound. Pick it up, I wanted to scream. At least if she struck, I could defend myself. Strike, Amari. Father's voice hit an octave so low it could crack stone. Yet Amari clutched herself and turned away. Tears streamed down her face. All Father saw was weakness. After all this time, I think it might have been strength. Father turned to me, face dark, flickering in the shadows of the torchlight. Your sister chooses herself. As king, you must choose Orisha. All the air vanished from the room. The walls closed in. Father's orders echoed in my head. His commands to fight against myself. Strike, Enon. Rage flared in his eyes. You must fight now. Amari screamed and covered her ears. Everything in me wanted to run to her side, protect her, save her. Promise we would never have to fight. Duty before self. Father's voice went hoarse. Show me you can be king. In that moment, everything stopped. I lunged forward with my sword. Enon! Kaya's barks pulled me back, breaking through the depths of my memories. I press against the mountainside, one foot dangling. With a grunt, I continue my climb, not stopping until I reach the next ledge. Sweat pours from my body as I rub my thumb over the ornate ceiling on Mari's headdress. We never spoke of it, not once, even after all these years. Amari was too kind to bring it up. I, far too scared. We carried on, an invisible chasm always between us. Amari never had to go back to that cellar. I never left. Though my muscles shake, I pocket the headdress. There's no time to waste. I failed my sister once. I shall not repeat that mistake again. As I rise, the Maji's spirit pulses like never before, a surge she can't control. The sea salt scent of her soul is so strong, it overwhelms the clove smell of the broom ladies under my nose, or broomlades under my nose. I pause when I notice the flattened stems at my feet. Tracks. She's been here. She's close. I'm close. Kill her. My heart thrums as I claw at the mountain ledge. Kill her. Kill magic. When the girl's finally in my grasp, this will all be worth it. I shall take my kingdom back. Amari's headdress pokes my side as I continue to rise. I couldn't save her from father then, but today I shall save her from herself. Chapter 20, Zele. Faster! Leakin calls as we run through the temple halls. Zane carries me over his shoulders, gripped tight around my waist. Who is it? Amari asks, though the quiver in her voice suggests she already knows. Her brother scarred her once. Who's to say it won't happen again? My staff, I moan. It takes every ounce of energy to speak, but I need to fight. I need to keep us alive. You can barely stand. Zane catches me before I slide from his back. Shut up, and for God's sake, try to hold on. We come to a dead end in the hall, and Leakin presses his palm to the stone. The ink symbols dance across his skin and travel into the wall. When his right arm is wiped clean of Symbaria, the stone clicks, sliding open to a golden room. We step into the hidden wonder, filled floor to ceiling with shelves of thin, colored scrolls. Do we hide here? Zane asks. Leakin disappears behind a large shelf before returning with an armful of black scrolls. We're here to retrieve these incantations, he explains. Her powers will need maturation if she is to perform the Mama Lawa's role. Before Zane can object, Leakin shoves him into my leather pack with the ritual parchment. All right, Leakin says, follow me. With Leakin's guidance, we twist around the corners of the temple with new speed, descending endless flights of stairs. Another wall slides open, and we emerge on the side of the tarnished temple, greeting the jungle heat. In the dying sunlight, my head throbs. The entire mountain screams with life. Though a buzz of spiritual energy hummed before, now the temple grounds overwhelm me with haunted shrieks and cries. The shadow-like spirits of the slaughtered centauros swirl around my body like magnets, finding their way home. Awakening magic is like adding a new sense. Leakin's words resurface. Your body needs time to adjust. Only the adjustment doesn't come. Magic crushes every other sense, making it almost impossible to see. My vision blacks in and out as Zane scurries through the rubble. Leakin is about to lead us into the jungle brush when it hits me. Nyla! Wait, Zane whispers after Leakin, skidding to a halt. Our Lionaires out front. We cannot risk. No! I cry out. Zane presses his hand against my mouth to stifle the sound. Guards or not, I will not abandon Nyla. We won't leave my oldest friend behind. Leakin releases a frustrated sigh, but we creep back to the temple. My vision fades in as he motions us close, pressing against the side of the temple to peer out front. Across the graveyard of skulls and ruins, I see E10 reach down, aiding his admiral as the remaining soldiers urge their riders over the final ledge. There's a crazed drive in his eyes, a desire to find us that runs deeper than before. I look for the prince who trembled in his dreamscape. Instead, all I see are the hands that wrapped around my throat. Ahead of E10, 3 guards kick over crumbled stones and broken bones. They're close. Too close for us to hide. Soon imi oken soon. Soon imi oke soon. Leakin weaves an incantation under his breath like a needle through thread, moving his staff in circles. The words summon a coil of white smoke that twists and swirls through the air. Sleep, spirit, sleep, I translate. Sleep, spirit, sleep. We watch as the coil slithers along the ground like a snake. It wraps itself around the leg of the closest guard, squeezing it until it seeps into his skin. The guard lurches forward, stumbling down behind a pile of stones. His eyes flash white with leaking spirit before rolling into unconsciousness. The white coil slithers out of his body and incapacitates the next soldier by the same means. As he goes down, Enon and the Admiral pull the vicious snow leopard near over the ledge. Leakin, Amari hisses, beads of sweat forming on her brow. At this speed, we won't make it. They'll find us before we get out. Leakin chants faster and faster, moving his staff as if stirring to Bonnie in an iron pot. The spirit slithers toward the final guard, seconds away from Nyla. Her yellow eyes glint with the predator's malice. No, Nyla, please. Ah! The guard's ear-shattering rings cry through the guard's ear-shattering cry rings through the air. Flocks of birds soar into the sky. Blood spurts from his thigh as Nyla releases her giant fangs. Enon whips around, death raging in his eyes. They land on me and Narrow, a predator who's finally caught his prey. Nyla! My Lioneer bounds across the destroyed ruins, reaching us in mere beats. Zane hoists my body into the saddle before everyone else scrambles on. Zane snaps her reins as Enon and the Admiral draw their swords. Before they can reach us, Nyla takes off, zipping across the mountainside. Broken stones tumble under her paws as she flees, clattering off the narrow ledge. There, Leakin points to the jungle's thick underbrush. There is a bridge a few kilometers ahead. If we get across and cut it, they will not be able to follow. Zane snaps Nyla's reins and she tears through the jungle at breakneck speed, dodging vines and massive trees. Peering through the underbrush, I spot the bridge in the distance, but a menacing roar reminds me that Enon is right on our tail. I sneak a glance behind me. Thick branches snap against his snow leopardeer's massive frame as she rips through the underbrush. She bares her ghastly teeth as she nears, hungry like her master. Amari! Enon yells. Amari tenses and squeezes me tight. Go faster. Nyla already sprints faster than I've ever seen her go, but somehow she finds the strength to push. Her bounds lengthen our life, creating needed distance between us and our pursuers. We break through the underbrush and skid to a halt before the rickety bridge. Withered vines string together the rotted wood. With a gust of wind, the entire structure quakes. One by one, Leakin orders. It will not hold us all. Zane, guide Zele. No. I slide to the ground, almost collapsing when I hit the dirt. My legs feel like water, but I compel myself to be strong. Nyla first. She'll take the longest. Zell, go! I scream. We're running out of time. Zane grits his teeth and grabs Nyla by the reins. He guides her across the creaking bridge, cringing as the wood moans with every step. The second they make it across, I push Amari forward, but she doesn't let go of my arm. You are weak, she chokes out. You will not make it alone. She pulls me onto the bridge, and my stomach flips when I make the mistake of looking down. Beneath the panels of decaying wood, sharp rocks shoot toward the sky, threatening to impale anyone unlucky enough to fall. I shut my eyes and grip the jungle vines. They're already splintered and frayed. Terror grips my chest so tightly I can't even breathe. Look at me, Amari commands, forcing my eyes open. Though her own body quakes, fierce determination flares in her amber gaze. My vision blacks out and she grabs my hand, forcing me forward plank by moaning plank. We're halfway across when Enon bursts through the thick underbrush, the Admiral following moments later. It's too late. We won't make it. Agbojo Owu Awan Orisa. Leakin slams his staff into the ground. Yamini Agbara Ari. His body explodes with a powerful white glow that surrounds the riders' bodies. He drops his staff and raises his arms. With them, the beasts rise into the sky. Enon and his admiral cry out as they slide off the backs of the Lepaneers, their eyes wide with horror. Leakin throws back his arms, sending each rider flying off the cliff. Oh my gods. Their massive bodies writhe and twist. They claw at the sky, but their roars meet a sharp end as they're pierced by rocks. A terrified rage takes hold of the Admiral. With a guttural scream, she jumps to her feet and races toward Leakin with her sword. You maggot! She lunges forward, only to be trapped in place by Leakin's magic. Enon rushes to her aid, but he is too caught in the white light. Another fly in Leakin's web. Run, Leakin shouts, veins bulging against his skin. Amari pulls me forward as fast as she can, though the bridge weakens with our every step. Go, I order her. It can't hold us both. You cannot. I'll make it. I force my eyes open. Just run. If you don't, we'll both fall. Amari's eyes glisten, but there's not a moment to waste. She bounds across the bridge and leaps onto the ledge, crashing onto the other side. Though my legs shake, I push forward, dragging myself along the vine. Come on. Leakin's life is on the line. A terrifying creak escapes the bridge, but I keep moving. I'm almost on the other side. I'm going to make it. The vines snap. My stomach flies into my throat as the bridge collapses under my feet. My arms flail, desperate to grab onto anything. I latch onto a plank as the bridge smacks against the stone cliff. Zele! Zane's voice is hoarse as he peeks over the ledge. My body quivers as I cling to the stone panel. Even now, I hear it splintering. I know it won't hold. Climb. Through my blackening, tear-filled vision, I see how the broken bridge has formed a ladder. 3 planks are all I need to reach Zane's outstretched hands. 3 planks between life and death. Climb! I order myself. My body doesn't move. Climb! I scream again. Move! Go now! With a trembling hand, I grip the plank above and pull myself up. 1. I grab the next plank and pull again, heart in my throat when another vine snaps. 2. Just 1 plank to go. You can do it. You didn't come this far to die. I reach for the final plank. No! The final plank snaps beneath my grip. Time passes in an instant and an eternity. Wind whips at my back with fury, twisting me toward my grave. I close my eyes to greet death. Ugh! A thundering force crushes into my body, knocking the air from my chest. White light wraps around my skin. Leakin's magic. Like the hand of a god, the strength of his spirit lifts me up, propelling me into Zane's arms. I turn to face him just as the Admiral breaks from his hold. Leakin! The Admiral's sword plunges through Leakin's heart. His eyes bulge and his mouth falls open. His staff drops from his hand. Leakin's blood splatters as it hits the ground. No! I scream. The Admiral yanks out her sword. Leakin collapses, ripped from our world in an instant. As his spirit leaves his body, it surges into mine. For a moment, I see the world through his eyes. Running through the temple grounds with the Centauro children, a glee like no other, a light in his golden gaze. His body steadies as the Mamalawa inks every part of his skin, painting the beautiful symbols in white. His soul rips again and again, traveling through the massacred ruins of his people. His spirit soars like never before as he performs his first and only awakening. As the vision ends, one whisper endures, a word teetering through the blackness of my mind. Live, his spirit breathes. Whatever you do, survive. Chapter 21, E10. Before today, magic didn't have a face. Not beyond beggars' tales and the hushed undertones of servant stories. It died 11 years ago. It only lived in the fear in Father's eyes. Magic didn't breathe. It didn't strike or attack. Magic didn't kill my riders and trap me inside its grasp. I peer over the ledge of the cliff. Lula's body slumps, impaled on a jagged rock. Her eyes hang open in an empty stare. Blood stains her spotted coat. As a child, I watched Lula rip through a savage gorillion twice her size. In the face of magic, she couldn't fight. 1, I whispered to myself, leaning away from the ghastly sight. 2, 3, 4, 5. I will the number to slow my pulse, but my heart only beats harder in my chest. There are no moves, no counterattacks. In the face of magic, we become ants. I watch a line of the 6-legged creatures until I feel something sticky under the metal heel of my boot. I scoop back and follow the crimson droplets to the Maji's corpse. Blood still leaks from his chest. I study him, really seeing the Maji for the first time. Alive, he looked 3 times his actual size, a beast shrouded in white. The symbols that covered his dark skin glowed as he threw our riders through the air. With his death, the symbols have vanished. Without them, he looks strangely human, strangely empty. But even dead, his corpse wraps a chill around my throat. He held my life in his hands. He had every chance to throw it away. My thumb grazes over father's tarnished pawn, my skin prickling as I back away from his body. I understand now, father. With magic, we die. But without it? My gaze drifts back to the dead man, to the hands gifted by the heavens, stronger than the earth. Orisha cannot survive that kind of power. But if I used it to get the job done, a bitter tang crawls onto my tongue as the new strategy takes hold. Their weapon is their magic is a weapon. Mine could be one too. If they're a Magi who can fling me from a cliff with the wave of their hand, magic is my only chance of getting the scroll back. But the very thought makes my throat close up. If father were here. I look down at the pawn. I can almost hear his voice in my head. Duty before self. No matter the cost or collateral. Even if it's betrayal of everything I know, my duty to protect Orisha comes first. I release my hold on the pawn. For the first time, I let go. It starts slowly, broken, crawling limb by limb. The pressure in my chest is released. The magic I forced down starts to stir underneath my skin. At the pulsing sensation, my stomach lurches, churning through every ounce of my disgust. But our enemies will use this magic against us. If I'm to fulfill my duty and save my kingdom, I must do the same. I sink into the warm thrum pulsing from within. Slowly, a cloud of Maji's consciousness appears, wispy and blue like the others, twisting above his head. As I touch it with my hand, the dead man's essence hits first, a tinged scent, rustic, like burnt timber and coal. My lips curl as I sink into his lingering psyche, reaching for it instead of running away. A single memory begins to flicker into my mind. A quiet day when his temple teemed with life. He ran across the manicured grass, hand in hand with a young boy. The more I release the hold on my magic, the bigger the flicker grows. A whiff of clean mountain air fills my nose. A distant song rings through my ears. Each detail becomes rich and robust, as if the memory stored in his consciousness is my own. With time, new knowledge begins to settle. A soul, a name, something simple, Leakin. Metal heels clink against the stone cliff. Skies. With a start, I force my magic down. The smell of timber and coal vanishes in an instant. A sharp pain in my stomach reappears in his steed. I pinch the bridge of my nose as my head reels from the whiplash. Moments later, Kaya emerges from the thick underbrush. Sweat-soaked hair sticks to her brown skin, now splattered with Leakin's blood. As she nears, I reach up to make sure my helmet is still covering my head. That was far too close. There's no way across, she sighs, sitting down beside me. I scouted a full kilometer. With the bridge destroyed, we can't travel between this mountain and the next. Figures. In the brief flicker I got of Leakin, I guessed as much. He was intelligent. He pursued the only path that would allow them to escape. I told him not to do this. Kai removes her back breastplate. I knew this wouldn't work. She shuts her eyes. He will blame me for the resurgence. He'll never look at me the same way again. I know the look she speaks of. Like she's the sun and he's the sky. It's the gaze father reserves for her. The one he shares when he thinks they're alone. I lean away and pick at my boot, unsure of what to say. Kaya never breaks down in front of me. Before today, I thought she never broke at all. In her despair, I see my own, my concession, my defeat. But that is not my place. I must be a stronger king. Stop moping, I snap. We haven't lost the war yet. Magic has a new face. That simply means I must attack with a new blade. There's a guard post east of Sokoto, I say. Find the Magi, find the scroll. We can send word of the collapsed bridge with your firehawk. If they dispatch a legion of stock laborers, we can build another one. Brilliant. Kaya buries her face in her hands. Let's make it easier for the maggots to return and kill us when their powers are restored. We'll find them before that happens. I'll kill her. I'll save us. With what leads? Kaya asks. Getting the men and supplies alone will take days. Building it, 3 days. I cut her off. How dare she question my reasoning? Admiral or not, Kaya cannot defy an order from me. If they work through the night, they can get it done, I continue. I've seen stalkers construct places with less. What use will a bridge be, Enon? Even if we build it, there will be no trace of that maggot by the time it's done. I pause and look across the cliff. The sea salt scent of the girl's soul is almost gone, fading in the jungle's underbrush. Kaya's right. A bridge shall only take us so far. By nightfall, I won't be able to sense the diviner at all. Unless. I turn back to the temple, recalling the way it made voices surge in my head. If I could do that, perhaps it can allow my magic to sense more. Shendomble. I shift the Senate pieces around in my mind. They came here for answers. Maybe I could find some too. Yes, that's it. If I discover what's amplifying my curse, I can use it to pick up the girl's trail. Just this once. Enon, it'll work, I interrupt. Summon the stalkers and lead the construction while I search. There will be traces of the girl there. I'll uncover the clues to where they're headed. I pocket Father's pawn. In its absence, the air hits cold against my skin. This fight is not over yet. The war has only begun. Send a message and gather a team. I want those laborers on this ledge by dawn. Enon, as captain, I'm not addressing you as your captain. I cut her off. I'm commanding you as your prince. Kaya stiffens. Something between us breaks, but I force my gaze to stay even. Father wouldn't tolerate her fragility. Neither can I. Fine. She presses her lips into a tight line. Your desire is my command. As she stalks away, I see the Magi's face in my mind. Her wretched voice, the silver eyes. I stare across the void where the sea salt soul has disappeared among the jungle trees. Keep running, I whisper. I'm coming for you. We're going to stop right there, y'all. There was a lot that went on. Wow. R.I.P. my boy Leakin. I genuinely hate it had to be him. This book is really heating up. We are still not halfway through yet. There's about 500 some odd pages in here. I'm trying not to read no words. There are 525 pages. And we are, the next time we meet will be at page 191. So let's see if we can get to like two songs. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in and stopping by. Peace.